meeting will please come to order. Good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, August the 29th. I am Trippy Congo, President of Wilmington City Council, and on behalf of all of my colleagues, we would like to thank everyone who has joined us this evening, those who are in chambers and also those who are with us virtually. At this time, we will have our opening prayer by Akira Granado.
Heavenly Father, we have assembled to handle the affairs of our city. As we do so, we ask for your guidance and understanding. We pray that our city reaches a place of peace and safety. Keep us out of harm's way and bless those who are in authority. Let respect be key in all our endeavors. Amen.
Amen. And just for a friendly reminder for those who are with us virtually, there is a Google Form sign-up link in our chat for anyone who would like to give public comment. And if there is anyone in council chambers who would like to give comment but hasn't had a chance to sign up, you may still do so. At this time, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman White,
Present.
Councilwoman Darby, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Harley, present. Councilwoman Fields,
Present.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Here.
Councilman Johnson, Councilman Johnson,
I do see that Councilman Johnson is with us, so we can mark him present, please.
thank you. Councilman Field,
Present.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Here.
Councilman Mills, Councilman Spadola,
Present.
Councilwoman Bracy, President Congo.
Here.
10 present and 3 absent.
The council members Darby, Mills, and Oliver did ask to be excused. At this time, we will have the reading of our minutes from the previous meeting.
August 22nd, 2024, City Council met in regular session with remote participation in the above date at 6:30 p.m. President Ernest M. Congo II presiding. The opening prayer was done by Kira Granado.
Mr. President, I move the minutes be accepted as written.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that minutes be accepted as written on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we will have our city treasurer's report.
August 29th, 2024, total investment, $529,967,097.29. Total cash on hand, $18,445,334.71. Grand total, $548,412,432. Submitted by Dwayne Sims, City Treasurer.
Mr. President, I move the treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second the report be received, recorded, and filed on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I'll accept the motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to accept all non-legislative business on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we will move to our recognition resolutions. Councilmember Spadola, may come forward, please.
Can the shine a light on stroke? Folks, please join me. Good evening, everybody. I wanted to take a minute and honor Bridget Callahan and Bridget DeMayo. They've created they both work at the Wilmington Christiana Hospital. One is a city resident, one is not a city resident yet, but they created a nonprofit to help sufferers of stroke. And they created a 5K, and they recently held it at Glasgow Park. And usually, when a nonprofit creates a 5K, there's a handful of people come, you lose money. But theirs had almost 500 people and raised $40,000, which is incredible accomplishment. Thank you. And that money will go right back into patient care, whether it's thickeners for swallowing, communication devices, mobility-related medical equipment, self-care assistive equipment, driving rehab, and all the other symptoms, all the other things that people need to help deal with the symptoms of a stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death nationally, and somebody dies by it every 3 minutes in the United States. So I'm not going to read the whereas clauses. I summed them up. But I did want to give either Bridget an opportunity to talk more about your mission and how we can help.
Well, thank you for having us here. I'm Bridget Callahan. I'm an occupational therapist. Bridget DeMayo is a speech therapist. And we were inspired by one of our patients. He wanted to bring about more awareness to stroke. He has suffered two in the last year. And he wanted to do the 5K, so we helped him make it happen. And we've just kind of grown from there. Our mission is to bring awareness to this cause. It's so preventable, and it affects so many people throughout the city, the state. So that's our mission there. And, you know, we hope to grow even more. We want to bring in local businesses, see how they can help survivors as well as their caregivers, and then just bring together all the resources. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
We really appreciate just sharing a little bit about our mission with people you might know who are caregivers of a stroke survivor. So when you know that's a stroke survivor, we plan on having a lot of great events throughout the state of Delaware. We have a cornhole tournament at Constitution Yards October 19th if you'd like to join us. And then our 5K race is going to be May 10th at Glasgow Park. So we'd love to have you guys come and join us.
Councilmember Cabrera.
Yes, thank you so much, because sometimes people don't realize until it happens to them, a friend or a family member, that these concerns are out there. As someone who works in home care, my daughter is a nurse. Obviously, I have patients who have suffered from a stroke that we take care of, clients. So bringing awareness to this is great. And when you said preventable, I think that's important too, if people can see the steps they need to take to prevent a stroke from happening, but to have those resources so that people can have quality of life in spite of the stroke. And one of the things I've discovered is that if people get the rehab and the help that they need, a lot of folks are able to recover some mobility, speech, and things like that. But if they don't get that, then they just can't be as functional as they could. So thank you so much for what you're doing, and Councilman Spadola for recognizing them.
And in the way of sympathy resolutions coming from Councilwoman Harley, she has a sympathy resolution for Marion B. Johnson Brown, and from Councilwoman Oliver, she has sympathy resolutions for Deborah Ann Perkins and Preston Roscoe Hudson Sr. At this time, we will move to public comment. We do have one member of the community in council chambers who signed up for public comment. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Tony Lewis to come forward. Yes, sir. Yes, so you can come forward and come right to the podium where Councilmember Spadola just was. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to introduce yourself, and please watch your step once you get to the podium.
My name is Tony Lewis. I live on Clifford Brown Walk. I'm in the 3rd District, I believe. I have 3 issues I'd like to address today.
All right.
The first being retail theft. I work in retail currently. I've done many jobs in Wilmington. I've been a personal trainer, strength coach at Wesley College. I've done many jobs here, but currently I work part-time. I'm semi-retired, and I work in retail. Retail is constantly being stolen from, and the police are not doing anything to address this issue. The other day in my store in Walgreens, a person stole something. I witnessed it. This is not the first time. This was not the first time. Walked out. I found a police officer in the back of Walgreens in the barbershop talking to the barber, and I went in. I gave him a description of the perpetrator. Oh, well, that was my response. It's like he didn't care. Something needs to be done. The retail stores in downtown Wilmington and Wilmington surrounding area is being ripped off constantly. It affects the consumer. It affects me. I can't even read a newspaper in the store without being, what's the word I'm looking for?
Interrupted?
No, without being, oh God, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Said that I'm stealing something. Right? That's not the word I was looking for. But anyway, you have drug addicts on the street. I go to the bus stop every morning to go to work. And I have pictures of drug addicts laying out on the street. What's being done to address this issue? I don't see the police doing anything. Homelessness. It's just outrageous. I see, and the majority, and I don't mean this to be racist, but I see the majority of the drug addicts out here now, the majority of the thieves that come into my store are white males. I don't understand it. I saw a guy sitting on the PNC building on Pennsylvania Avenue downtown, drugged out, one boot off, laying on the window. No police addressing it. It's ridiculous. This city is better than that. We are better than that. Okay, the second issue I want to bring up is, and I'm a passionate guy, so excuse me. BPG, Buccini Poland Group. When MBNA was here, they contributed to the community. They invested into the community. I don't see that with BPG. Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps my perception is wrong, but I don't see that. I see them taking.
You have 30
Rent has
seconds.
going it's sky high, right? You can't find an apartment for less than $1,200 a month. The building I live in on Clifford Brown Walk, there's no management currently. We don't know what's going to happen to that building. The building is accessible to anyone who wants to walk in at this point.
You have 10 seconds.
I guess that's my voice for today. Something needs to be done. The police need to be more active about. I don't know what the agenda is with the police force, but something more needs to be done. All right, these drug addicts on the street. I have pictures of drug addicts, like I said, laying on the street in front of the bus stop. This guy was in the bus stop Tuesday, just picking his feet, homeless, right? I don't have anything against homeless people. They need to be helped. They need to be helped. But they can't be a plague on the community at the same time.
Sir, that's your time, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to voice my opinion.
WITN, is there anyone virtually who signed up? At this time, we will move to legislative business. Councilmember White presenting for Councilmember Oliver.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, on behalf of Councilwoman Oliver, I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 24-047, Agenda 0472, an ordinance to authorize and approve a license agreement between the City of Wilmington and Environmental Systems Research Institute, Inc.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to authorize and approve a license agreement between the City of Wilmington and Environmental System Research Institute, Inc.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that it be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer it to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and referred to the Finance and Economic Development Committee. Councilmember Cabrera.
Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 24-048, Agenda 0471, an ordinance to amend Chapter 37 relating to the collection of parking fines.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 37 relating to the collection of parking fines.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that it be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer it to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Finance and Economic Development Committee. At this time, we will move to petitions and communications. I'm going to go first. I just want to apologize to our viewing audience and to our council. The gentleman that was just here, he was very passionate about his concerns for our city, but he did bring race into the conversation. I don't think that was appropriate because, yes, drugs and alcohol and homelessness affects all of us. So I do want to apologize to anyone who may have been offended by that. I'm sorry. Thank you for your apology. Thank you. And we will start with Councilmember White.
Nothing at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Harley.
Yes, Mr. President, I have 3 quick announcements. Myself and other sponsors are going to be throwing a back-to-school block party and free giveaway on this Saturday, August the 31st, from 12 o'clock until 3 o'clock p.m. The location is 1200 North French Street, and that's going to be at the Community Education Building. Again, this Saturday, August the 31st, from 12 to 3 at the Community Education Building. The second announcement is that myself and other sponsors, we will be at the East Side Community Day on this Saturday, September the 1st. The time is from 10 until 2. That's at 701 East 11th Street. That's Kirkwood Park. There's going to be book bag giveaways, face painting, activities for the children. I believe there's going to be basketball tournaments and other activities. And then lastly, the 3rd and 4th District East Side Civic Association, they meet every first Wednesday of the month at Central Baptist Church on 9th and Pine Street, starting at 5:30 with refreshments, and at 6 o'clock, the meetings typically start. Those are my announcements, and if anyone has any questions about any of these announcements, they can reach out to me at mharley@wilmingtondE.gov. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Fields.
Yes, Mr. President. First, I'd like to thank all of the community members who wanted to become first-time home buyers for coming to both of the first-time home buyer programs that I had last week. One was on Saturday and the other one was on Monday. I know that we have at least approved 5 people to purchase their first home. So 1 out of a lot is enough, is good, but 5 out of many is wonderful and great. So I really applaud those individuals that put in the hard work. Also, I would just like to remind people who are from West Center City, the other areas call us West Side, on September 1st, 2024, there will be a West Side Community Day at Helen Chambers Park, and it's going to be starting at 12. We will have food, free food, book bags, water ice, water slides, DJ music, and we're going to have basketball tournaments on the new court. So I just implore, everybody to come out, and we're going to have a good time. And my quote for today is, "The miracle is not that we do the work, but that we are happy to do it." Mother Teresa. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
Thank you. Actually, I don't have an event or anything, but I just wanted to make a comment. What the gentleman said touched me deeply. I just want to state that nonviolent and nuisance crimes here in the city are impacting everyone. A few years ago, I dealt with porch pirates, and just this past weekend, my car was stolen. Fortunately, my car was recovered within 24 hours. Thank you, Wilmington Police Department. But many Wilmington residents aren't as lucky, nor are they council members. So that may have something to do with it as well. As a council member, this deeply concerns me. And it's not that it just happened. And the reason why I had this concern is because it happened to me. Legislation has been submitted, but I really think it's time to look at it and rework it, because we do not want to We want to make certain that people have understanding that we were all going through the same thing. I do not want to punish people who are considered impoverished or in poverty about the crimes that are being committed. At the same time, I feel like we are all pretty much one paycheck away from being in that same boat. So we cannot keep allowing this to happen. We have to start looking forward and figuring out what do we do, what consequence needs to be paid, but also how do we make certain that these people do not stay on this path. So I just wanted to make certain that I got a chance to say that.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
Yes, everyone. Just as a brief announcement, there is the second annual Back to School Bash coming up at the Flat, just 601 North Union. Is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please pre-register and contact City Council if you assistance registering, but it will also be school supplies, uniforms, and as well as free hairstyles. So please come out, everyone on the west side or wherever you live in the city, and again, you can pre-register by contacting City Council or contact the Flat. It will be in a community room. And it's from 11 to 2, and really just as a health announcement, COVID-19 still is around, so please pay attention to the Delaware DHSS site. New vaccines are rolling out soon. I've had many people associated with me get sick recently, even myself personally. I've been sick and touched by the newest variant. So please be careful. This one is spreading quickly in our community. So please pay attention. City Council will talk with the latest efforts to promote vaccine rollout as soon as we're able to be safer.
Thank you. Councilmember Field.
Yes. I want to second what Councilwoman McCoy just said and the gentleman's point here. I do believe there is a surge in nonviolent nuisance crimes taking place throughout the city. 3 times a week, I get calls from constituents that have seen what appears to be kind of a trend happening citywide. I've gotten 3 phone calls in the last month from people that witnessed just disturbing, just this a bold sense of impunity going into convenience stores and just grabbing stuff and running out. And I actually saw it last Friday at the CVS. A gentleman just kind of marched right in with a large trash bag, filled it up, and sprinted out, and didn't feel that there were any consequences whatsoever. Every day. And so I think there needs to be some kind of, it's a different type of trend than what seems to have been happening before, and it's impacting the quality of life, and I think we need to think of new paradigms for addressing this issue, because it's clearly happening, because I hear this from all corners of the city and consistently get calls about this. So it's a sensitive issue, and I thank Councilwoman McCoy for her comments, and I'm working on this, and I know that many others are too.
Thank you. Councilmember Cabrera.
Hi, I just want to remind people that we have the Brandywine Arts Festival this Saturday and Sunday, both days at the Brandywine Park. They get artists from all over that come out. It's a wonderful community event, great for kids, great for families. And just giving you a heads up that this year for the Hispanic Festival and Parade, it'll be short and sweet. It'll start at 12, end at 4, and it will be on Saturday, September 4th, not Sunday. Saturday, September 4th, that would have been me on Sunday morning walking over to the, going to the parade and not finding anybody there. But there was a change because of scheduling and policing. And September 5th, there is El Festival Hispano, which is another group, and they are bringing that festival to Rockford Park. So I'm very excited about that, to have that in the city, and that'll happen September 15th, and next week we'll give more details. And just to add on to what was mentioned by Councilwoman McCoy and Mr. Lewis, recently I was in conversation visiting Mr. Junior Ortega, one of our former council members, and we were talking about the situation, homelessness, because that's been coming up a lot, especially, during this campaign season. And he said that he goes out personally to the people that are panhandling on 95, right there on 4th Street. He's talked to them, try to offer resources, places that people can go. He's got someone that comes around his house that he feeds, same thing, trying to put them in the right direction. And we know that we also have the Hope Center, even though it is removed from Wilmington. There's, a lot of help that is being offered there. And what he finds is, Maria, he says, they don't want the help. This is a life that they chose, good, bad, or ugly, and then there is the situation with addiction. And I know people look at us as leaders as to what we can do, and there's only so many resources that we have here in Wilmington as a city, and yes, we need to work on this, but we need to work with the state and the federal government where those resources really exist with housing. But we also have to remember, it's not out of pure neglect as leaders that we're not trying to do something. Sometimes it's a personal choice that people have made. They've made that choice. We cannot force them to take medication. We cannot force them to be in a mental health institution. We cannot force them to be in a shelter if they choose not to do that. But I think our police department needs to do better, and we have to find a way to deal with these crimes without them just shrugging their shoulders and saying there's nothing we can do. Thank you. That's it.
No, sir, not at this time, unfortunately. No, I'm sorry. Thank you. But if you want to speak to any council members, you can do so after the meeting. All right, thank you. Thank you. You finished, Council? And was there any uncertainty about a date that Councilmember Cabrera may have mentioned?
The parade
Miss Owens thought you might have had the dates for the Hispanic events wrong.
No, September 14th, Saturday.
14th.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you. Councilmember Spadola.
Thank you, Council President. On Monday, September 23rd, at 6 p.m., right here, I will be hosting a Civic Association training with Deputy Attorney General Chris Curtin. To clarify, it's not just for civic associations. It's for homeowners associations, condo associations, and civic associations. A little bit for everyone there, just to talk about. I want to say exactly what he's a lawyer, so he only speaks to what he is trained and legally able to say. So I don't want to misstate the training, but the workshop will provide practical information about the responsibilities and rights that come with ownership in and governance of community associations, including condos, homeowners, and voluntary civic associations. And that was prompted by a lot of civic associations throughout the city reaching out to me about, not knowing what they legally can do, talking about their bylaws. So I'm hoping this will help provide some clarity. Thankful to the AG's office for partnering. I've gotten a very good response already. And if any of you know any civic association or condo association leaders that would be interested, please let them know. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bracy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just two quick things. Just wanted to send my well wishes and my prayers to all of the students that went back to school this week. We are hoping for a very successful week, school year, whether you're just starting out in pre-K or elementary, all the way through to our college kids. We want to make sure that you have a great year. And second, to all of our friends that work in labor unions, happy upcoming Labor Day. We appreciate all of the hard work and your contribution to keeping our communities running. And that's it, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Cabrera.
I believe there's a parade on Monday, Labor Day. I don't have the details, but there is a parade downtown for Labor Day. I don't have it on my calendar, but I did find out about it today.
All right, thank you. Again, I just want to thank everyone who joined us. Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for your comments. Thank you to. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you to everyone who is viewing virtually. Again, if you ever want to be a part of any of our meetings, you can definitely come down to council chambers every first and third Thursday. Meetings begin at 6:30. If you want to give public comment, we ask you to get here a little earlier, maybe by 6:15, And if you're not able to, you can also join us virtually. We can also give public comment. If any of us here at City Council can be of any of assistance, please call us at 302-576-2140. Again, our number is 302-576-2140. And because of our vacation, we do have another meeting next Thursday at 6:30. And then after that, we will be back into our regular rotation of meetings every first and third Thursday. But we will be right back here next Thursday at 6:30.
What is that date?
September 5th.
The 5th, September the 5th. Yes, 1 week from today at 6:30. And again, if you want to give public comment, we ask you just get here a little earlier. All right, thank you. And with that, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It has been second and moved and second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.